This will be for the con exercise, multiply complex numbers. All right, so for these problems, you want to either distribute or use FOIL. Okay, you want to multiply the real and imaginary numbers separately. You'll see what I mean by that in a minute. And you want to remember that I squared is -1. So wherever you get an I squared, you replace it with -1. All right, so these numbers are multiplied. Like I said, you could use FOIL or distributive property. All right, so let's see. Distributing, we have -2 times -5. Then we have -2 times -2i. Then we have -3i times -5. And then we have -3i times -2i. All right. -2 times -5 is 10. Right here, multiply numbers and letters separately. Or it's not really, I is not really a letter, it's a number, but still. Multiply the real part and the imaginary part separate. So -2 times -2 is 4. All right, and we're still left with times I. -3 times -5 is +15. And we're still left with times I. -3 times -2 is +6. And I times I is I squared. Okay, recall that we said I squared is -1. Yeah, I squared, I'm going to cross that off and plug in -1 in its place. All right, so we have a 10 here. Combining like terms, 4i plus 15i is 19i. 6 times -1 is -6. Combining terms further, 10 minus 6 is 4. And we have plus 19i. Final answer. 4 plus 19i. All right, this time I'm going to use FOIL. FOIL is the same thing as distributing. It's just in a different order. Okay, so first is going to be -3 times 3. Inner is going to be -I times 3. Outer is going to be -3 times I. And last is going to be -I times +I. All right. -3 times 3 is -9. -I times 3 is -3i. -3 times I is -3i. -I times I is -I squared. Okay, recall that we said I squared is the same as -1. So cross off I squared and write -1 in its place. All right, we have -9. And -3i minus 3i is -6i. And minus -1 is going to be +1. -9 plus 1 is -8. And that is also -6i. Final answer. All right, so you can use FOIL or distribute. FOIL is the same thing. It's just in a different order. It's still the same as distributing.